Okay, today topic is punctuality of being regularly late. You may notice someone late on meeting or late or something, and he often late. So I pick up this topic to talk about it today. My name is Monk Chayanon. See you every Thursday. Okay, as human, as human, we have body and we have our brain to control every part of our body. And we have mind to control our brain. It's like if I compare to the computer hardware, we have screen, keyboard, mouse, and the CPU. Yeah. Inside, we have the operating system, or we call OS. It can be Windows, can be iOS, it can be Android. Work like our human brain. Our brain control every part of the body. Our operating system control every part of our computer hardware. But if we have computer hardware installed with the operating system, it just make the computer ready to work. If we have body and brain, it just make we just a human, because the important function like perception, uh, record and retrieve and think, making decision is our mind, and then order the brain to react or to act. Same thing. So thought like something command from the mind. On the operating system, on the computer, we have some job running in the computer or a program to run on the computer. Without the program, without the job, it's just a hardware. that ready to work. So our thoughts is like a job or command from the mind to the brain to control the body. And we have the good thoughts and the evil thought. Try to inject the thoughts in our brain. So we have good thoughts, which is the positive side, good thought, and the other side is evil thoughts. It is negative. You know, we normally we work on good thoughts, but defilement try to inject the evil thoughts to our brain, to our mind. So the good one and the bad one try to inject the thought to our brain, but we don't realize that defilement work all the time. We don't realize that defilement works all the time. As long as we couldn't consciously think so, we are victim of the defilement. Because the defilement work all the time, every second. So if we could not consciously think, if we don't reconsider everything, then we have open space for the defilement work. You know, the defilement such as arrogance, high self-confidence, the thoughts that we are better than others, unkindness to others, negligence, selfishness, indifference, laziness, as well as inconsistency make us late all the time. You know, the defilement keep working all the time. Try to penetrate thoughts to our mind, to our brain. But it's something like we have our property, our many things in our house. We don't take care of things in around our house. So the thief will try to steal that thing all the time. They watching every time and try to do bad thing to our house. I will show you some wording from Stephen Covey. He said, our character is basically a composite of our habits because they are consistent, often unconscious patterns. They constantly, daily express our character. So one side of the superiority complex, inferiority, often build up to cover up their own inferiority. This is another trick of defilement that encourages you to do so. People who are the inferiority try to do something to cover up the inferiority. Try to act as superiority to cover up their inferiority. So think before you act. Good habits are formed. At the same time, bad habit, we fall into it. Good habits take time to build, but bad habits are possible if not careful. Good habits take time to build, but bad habits, we are ready to fall into it if we are not careful, if we are not mindful. Doing bad things at first is hard to like. For example, think about your first alcohol drink. You don't like it at that time, at that first time. But the same thing, the first cigarette you smoke, you don't really like it. Even the first cup of coffee when you are young, the first cup of coffee, it tastes awful. But definement takes a lot of effort to please us and make it a habit. If we do, try to make us do it over and over again, you start liking. You start saying, "Oh, it's okay," and eventually, it is my favorite. That's the trick of defilement. Bad habits. Habits, whether good or bad, are like a ready-made computer program that work automatically without having to think or direct every step. It's already it's kind of ready-made program. When you click when you click the icon, it works automatically because it's already set up to work automatically. Whatever you do it over and over again, it's become your habits. It's maybe a good habits, bad habits. But once it is a habit, it's automatically without having to think about what should I do next, or to direct every step. Like you wake up in the morning, you don't have to think about what to do next. Go to the toilet, having breakfast, and go to work. That's quite routine, quite automatic routine that you do without really think. If we let it happen repeatedly and quite often, it will become a habit, which it is in turn becomes a trait, and bad habit will be even more difficult to be fixed because it's already your habit. And if you think it's good, this one is good, this habit is good, no matter is how other people may see that it's bad habit, but you think it's my habit, it's good, and that's become a trait. When it's become the trait, it's hard to be fixed. It's hard to eliminate those bad habits, and it's even harder to build the good habits. So beware of the defilement. Talk about our topic. Being late for the first time will feel bad doing that. first time we are late for the seminar, for the conference, for the meeting. First time we feel bad about it. But this is important, but the defilement drives us to repeat it until eventually we don't feel bad about being regularly late. You can notice that a person who are late for a couple of times and later on they will be late regularly because they don't feel bad about it. But we don't know that what happened because if we do it over and over, it's quite normal for him. But they don't know that that's the defilements drive him to repeat it until eventually we don't feel bad about being regularly late. In the worldly aspect, to get out of bad habits, the life coach will teach you how to get out of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. But that's quite temporary to get out. Because the deep roots of the cause of it, we need loving kindness. We need loving kindness. We need compassion. We need sympathetic joy to stay away from bad habits. This is the deep roots of that problem. The recommendation from the life coach can solve the problem, but not just temporary solving problem. Why is that? Because these loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy are derived by cultivating merits, are derived by cultivating merits. Merits of giving, merits from forgiving, merits from observing precepts, and importantly, merits from practicing meditation. In reverse, if we have giving, forgiving, observing precept, and practicing meditation. This is the way to cultivate merits. And when you have cultivated merits, you will be kind, You will be compassionate. You will be sympathetic. This is the real roots of the problem. So get out of the bad habits. Just cultivated merit to get out of bad habit. And practicing, very important, practicing meditation is to regain the power of your mind. Because your mind is, the original mind is very powerful. The original mind is efficient. But from lifetime to lifetime, the defilement try to lessen the power of your mind. Because we let the bad habit in our mind. And that's the root, the cause root of we losing the power of our mind. So we need to regain the power of the mind, particularly practicing meditation. Okay? Thank you for listening to our wisdom talk today. I hope it's useful for you and make we think about how to get out of bad habits. We all have all kinds of habits, but sometimes it's hard to get out of it. I appreciate all of everyone who joined today and listened to our wisdom talk. Thank you again, and see you next Thursday.